Hello everyone, welcome back to Eclectic Alu. Thank you for subscribing and liking my videos. Go ahead and subscribe now so you can support this channel and help me spread this message and help me also form this community where we can help each other mainly, and that would be awesome and I would really appreciate that. So today I'm going to talk about narcissism and covert narcissism. So I have a Spanish-speaking channel. I'm from Argentina, for those of you that don't know me. I'm Alina from Argentina, and that rhymes. In my Spanish-speaking channel, I received a question, and although I have one video about covert narcissism, somebody asked me to explain more covert narcissism, so in detail, and so that's what I'm going to be doing and attempt to do here today, because covert narcissism is a very complex construct, psychologically speaking, because so Freud very geniusly defined narcissism first, and he talked about the narcissist, and he never gave us which is more than enough, right? He came up with the narcissism construct idea. But there's no recollection of covert narcissism. And so I have my laptop here. And throughout the history of psychology, there are some glimpses of covert narcissism. And so I wanted to mention, for example, different authors. And so Hendon and Chick mentioned the hypersensitive narcissism. Kohut mentioned the less colorful and socially hesitant type of narcissistic personality, which is less colorful. That sounds very poetic. And Cooper said the narcissistic tendencies might become unconscious vehicles for attaining masochistic disappointments and masochistic injuries, an affirmation of distorted narcissistic fantasies. And the covert narcissist is jealous, is angry because he is covering his grandiosity. He thinks, he believes he is grandiose, but reality shows him differently. So he's always looking for somebody to blame. And if you are a victim, or if you have been in a relationship with a covert narcissist, what you will see is that they are always blaming you for something. You are guilty for everything, because they need this scapegoat, which usually is the spouse or their children or co-workers. They need this scapegoat in their life to maintain their self-esteem regulated. They need to maintain that grandiosity that they have, infantile grandiosity that they have, idea of themselves, of being great, of being more than you, of being more than everybody. That entitlement, they need to keep that going through extracting enormous amount of energy from their scapegoats, which are spouses, like I said, children, people, friends, people that are regularly living with them. And the abuse happens indoors. They say it's covert because it's the they appear very simple, humble, helpful. They appear as normal people, nice people, even too modest, and they seem to be the kind of person that will conform to the rules. They appear to be very strict on that. They are very strict on appearing as if they follow the rules of society, but deep down they despise authority. They have a huge problem with authority because that reminds them that they are down the scale. Because overts, which are the grandiose type of narcissism, they believe they are better than everybody, and they show it and they say it, and they are the peacocks of narcissism. They are, you see them coming, they are overt, they are right there in your face, and you know they're narcissistic, highly narcissistic people. But the covert is that's the difficult thing, and that's why they're complex, because they have a split in their personality where they know, they are aware of their grandiosity, that they are aware that they want to be recognized, that they need to be seen as better than. They need to be seen as they are grandiose, and that the thing is, they're not being recognized. Reality shows them that they are not being recognized, and they are not being acknowledged as superior. So that hurts their self-esteem immensely. They're very vulnerable. That's why many researchers call them vulnerable narcissist or shy narcissist, because they say they're painfully shy. Not sure about that. That's what research says. Let's go for it. But they can be shy in the sense that they want to appear, to me, it's that they want to appear meek. They want to appear not narcissistic, right? Exactly the opposite, because they know they are. Like, they know they are grandiose. They feel like they're more than, better than, and, you know, this grandiosity. But they have this idea that they feel also shame. They can access shame in that sense, that they will not be that obvious, you know, because they won't be ridiculous within their circle of friends or maybe in society. So they want to appear very covertly, like they are normal, and they even go to great extents to be helpful. And you will see them helping people, and sometimes, well, that would be more of the communal, which is narcissist, which is the one that goes to fundraisings and, you know, raises money for the people in need, and they make sure they post it everywhere online and their accounts and all that. But that's more obvious. But the covert appears to be very normal, and that's what's tricky for their spouses and for co-workers and people that have to deal with them, because on one hand you have this person that is continually accusing you of being guilty of everything, and on the other hand you have the other people that say that they appear normal, and then they really truly, with the gaslighting they inflict on their victims, they truly make them feel like crazy. They're crazy because they don't understand the victims, don't understand that they did anything wrong. They don't feel like they really truly did anything wrong, and they are constantly, the coverts are constantly keeping their victims longing for love, longing for appreciation, longing for approval from them, because they're constantly criticizing and degrading, diminishing, making the victim feel less than. They're continually inflicting, criticizing their victims, and they engage in loads of different types of abuse: emotional, physical, spiritual, financial abuse. And while they keep this image that they're meek, that they're simple people, that they are the kind of people that you know, they would never abuse anybody, you know. So that's the trick and complexity of this personality type. Although research has already shown that there is this type empirically, you can see that there's this covert type. It's not widely known, especially for newer therapists, and until it's in the DSM-5. I don't think, because I learned to diagnose with the DSM-4 in that era when I got my degree. But until that's not part of the mainstream psychology, although there are a lot of research papers, newer research papers in the last years that have shown the existence of covert narcissism, until it's not in the DSM, I don't think it's going to be so mainstream, because you can go to, you're at risk of going to a therapist that doesn't quite get it, and they're looking for mainly massacres, corpse, for psychopathy. You know, they're trained to see that, but not to see the covert narcissist, which is such a complex construct. Unless they are into studying a lot and looking at newer research and all that, it's, you know, it has to be a good therapist for you to. So it's, what I want to say here is, there's the possibility that you can go to a therapist and they won't see that, okay, about the person you're consulting. The covert narcissist is like his counterpart, the overt narcissist. He's very much engaged in ideas of grandiosity, omnipotence and all that, but he keeps it tightly undercover. And you can see they engage in moments of thinking, like when you see them, they're thinking, and that's when they self-soothe, because reality is not showing them what they think they are, which is this grandiose person, right? That's how they differentiate with, for example, the schizoid personality, which also has this type of ideas, but they don't know how to self-soothe. However, the covert narcissist self-soothes with this banality ideas, these ideas of grandiosity and almost infantile grandiosity. Of course, we know they don't have this empathy, they lack empathy, because they are so self-referential, in the sense that everything is about them. And so the overt is always like, this is me, let's talk about me and me and me and me. These are more on the psychopathy spectrum, I believe, because narcissism is a continuum, right? So there's normal narcissism, which we all need to be narcissistic in a way, like normal narcissism, like healthy narcissism. Because to survive, we need to have this sense of agency, of self-esteem, and we need to have this idea of ourselves within normalcy, right? And in order to progress in life, and we need that. But it's a continuum, so then it becomes pathological, and then it can become, it goes more to the psychopathy and Machiavellianism. Okay, so when it's pathological, that's when they abuse. And so, well, it's narcissism, like narcissistic personality disorder. The thing with covert narcissism, you see a lot of overlapping with BPD, which is borderline personality disorder. And I just found a paper by someone that conducted a study, and they found that covert narcissists engage in spiteful punishment, and which makes them cousins to the antisocial. So they have a base of antisocial personality disorder as well, because they and it goes with this concept of Schadenfreude, which is enjoying the pain of others, enjoying hurting others, enjoying the misfortune of others. That's the exact explanation of that term, Schadenfreude. While overt narcissists engage in the positive, let's say they are more, I'm the best, I'm great, and like that, right? And they are basically so obvious and you see them, but the covert, you don't see them until years after you're in a relationship maybe, or after months if you're lucky, but maybe after being in a relationship for years and years, you only find that this person is a narcissist. But when you look it up on the internet, you don't see all the traits. They don't match exactly. That's because it's a covert narcissist. Because they don't appear as the peacock, the shiny and flashy person. They are meek and regular people. And they appear almost too humble, and they don't want to be on the spotlight, because when they are, that's too deep, but they fear they will turn into an overt. Basically, that's that happens. But they are always longing for the recognition that never comes, because they feel they are being wronged. They feel like somebody has done something to them, the situation that happened, this person that did this to me, I wasn't like because this didn't happen for me, and they feel like they are not recognized in this time, and they feel like everybody should be praising them and recognizing how great they are, but they have still this access to shame that prevents them from doing that so openly, like the overt and grandiose cousin, let's say, which is the overt narcissist. And so they have this split in the personality. So they are also chameleons. They change a lot according to whomever they are at the moment, and they acquire all your, if they're with you, they will acquire your personality traits, your, let's say, your social status, your whatever it is that you have, or the way you talk. They will mirror everything. I would say they are the best actors, really, because they change and transform according to whatever they are, or with whomever they are at the moment. So there's this continuum, right? And to me, they are more, they are close to psychopathy and Machiavellianism, because they have this planning and this awareness, right? They know that what they're doing, in a sense, because it's part of what they do, they know, because they use these passive-aggressive manipulation techniques, which I talked about them, and you can find them in this video here that I'm going to add here. And yes, there's a lot going on. It's very complex, and if you're living with a covert narcissist, you will feel that you're not recognized for your efforts, that they continuously, they are continuously asking for things that they want from you, and nothing is enough. So you feel like everything you do is not enough for them, never will be. Let me tell you, that will never happen, and it's never enough. You will feel like you're doing things for them and never getting anything, like getting approval from it, and you will never get it because it's a never-ending thing. And they will, all the while, they will belittle you, they will diminish you, make you feel less than, they will make you feel guilty, they will gaslight you, and extract all your energy. This is a very damaging disorder for people that live with them, because they, the victims of this type of abuse, feel like they're drained. Their energy is gone because they're giving everything to this person, and the person is not feeling content with what he's getting or she's getting, right? It could be a woman and it could be a man. So it's for both sexes, races, countries, anything, genders, all around the globe, cuts across everything. So covert narcissism is, you know, it's not more. I heard somebody say, so those are more women do that. No, it's very male as well, and women do that too. When I say it's self-referencing, I mean that it can be that they are always talking about themselves, but it can also mean that, for example, road rage. If they're driving, they feel like, well, that guy over there 3 lines ahead, say to the left, did something, and they feel like, oh, he did it because I'm here and he did it to me, you know? He did it to me. He stopped there and parked there and took that place, parking place, let's say, because he did it to me, because I was coming, and, you know, everything is self-referencing. And so if you take that to your house, if you're living with a covert narcissist, everything is about them. You did this because you hate them, and maybe you turn off the TV because you hate them, or you didn't cook that day because you were tired, and so you didn't cook for them, and how do you dare do that? And you don't have a right to exist because I'm here and I'm better and I'm grandiose. But they still have this shame about that, and so they won't put it that way. What they use is they obsess about projecting everything so that they can maintain this idea of grandiosity, because if they were to accept their own mistakes and their own faults in things, that would crumble their grandiosity idea, their grandiose idea. So it's very complex. They are always more pessimistic, very dark, very depressed. They can be very... They're always... The victim feels at home that they are always, oh, you're not doing this for me. Why are you not doing this for me? Why are you always doing something else? Why you left me here? Why do you know, they're never happy about anything that you do for them. So and they're always asking for more, and the victim feels completely drained of energy because of that, because there's nothing you can do that can finally make them feel happy, right? And you feel very guilty. The victim feels extremely guilty, and because that's what they do, they project everything on you, and you end up, if you've been with these people for for years and years, you will start to feel as if you are guilty of everything, and you will start doubting yourself, and you will be very, very confused when it comes to knowing if they are right or if you are right, and you will doubt yourself a lot. So what I propose is that you call loved ones, friends, family, a neighbor that you really anybody on your support system, on your side, that can help you. They will tell you, no, this happened, double check. And yeah, that's the first step. And then go to therapy, maybe send me an email, we can arrange a coaching session, or we can talk. This is a very difficult thing to come out of alone.